Okay, sound check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 indeed. Right, good evening guys. Looks like we've got some sound. What a day. We've had better. Right, very good evening. How are we all doing? Welcome to Leeds, Bradford. And, we've had a bit of a failure today down at Manchester, haven't we? Me and Tom went down this morning, was up at 7:30 this morning. 5 hours door to door for a failed stream. Dragged the poor lad down the motorway. Dragged him for a couple of miles in the mud. We actually got to our location at Manchester, set up camp, and it was just driving horizontal drizzle, and we could not keep it off the equipment. It was just a big no-go. We give it a good attempt. We did the best we could, but it wasn't happening. So he's gone on to watch the footy. I'm in the car on my own, and here we are up at Leeds, Bradford. I took one look at the weather forecast. 40-mile-an-hour gusts this evening, and there was quite a few arrivals coming in as well. So I thought, right, okay, here we go. Let's try again. Let's not be beaten. So here we are, sat down at the end of right at the end of runway 32. So hopefully, yeah, we might get a few go-arounds. It's blowing a gale, and runway 32 in use, which is nice for our location. And like I say, I'm on my own, so I'm juggling a few things together. I can see there's a lot of you in the chat already. I'll come and say hello in a sec. And I hope everybody's had a lovely weekend. It looks like KLM's just on the push, look. So, as I said, I'm inside the car, which means I have to go on the old tripod to actually make it fit inside the car. So it's the old rickety tripod, so go easy on me. And like I say, your main cameraman, Tom, is at home watching the football, and I really don't blame him. I think he just about had enough today. I've told him to pop in. He might pop into the chat later on. So it's the KLM to Amsterdam, just on the push at the moment. And like I say, I'm inside the car, so you might get a bit of a camera shake here, because every time I move it, the camera shakes, and every time the wind blows, the camera shakes. So we'll just have to deal with it, and we'll see how we get on. The one plus thing for me, it's nice and warm in here. I'm out of the wind. Right, let's load up the chat. And Marjolein, one of our supermods, is there as well. And Matt Smith. Hello, Matt. Hello, Marjolein. How are we all doing? Matt says, don't let it beat you. I didn't. Zishan, hello to you. Becky Davies, always in the chat. Hello, Becky. Ted's there as well, Max and Dan and HD8, Jane Clark, Danny Jones, how you all doing? Graham Tannehill, Sarah Midnight Star, hello, Dave P, hello to you. Wow, a lot of people already. Casbo, Rob, hello, Mark Winterbourne, Mr. LBA, how you doing, Mark? Yvonne, another supermod, hello Yvonne. Chris Jones 32, hello, High Flying Aviation and Susan Boskill, Danny Talks Sport, how you all doing? Maruda in Harrogate, hello. Rod Gill's there as well, Mr. Manchester himself. How are you doing, Rod? Colin, another one of our super mods. How are you doing, Mush? Well, there's a lot of you in the chat. John Taylor's there as well. Hello, John. I take it nobody's watching the football. Rod says, ATC problems up at Edinburgh and has been closed since about 2:30. I didn't know that. Carly, hello to you. Like I said, we spent most of today in the car driving up and down the motorway. Skating Banana, hello. David Stocker, who's been in the membership for 8 months. A big hello to you and a massive thank you. So yeah, we are here for arrivals tonight. There is quite a few scheduled to come in, and like I say, there's a good crosswind blowing, and it is very, very windy, gusting to around about 40 miles an hour is the forecast for this evening. So could make for some interesting arrivals. Richard Joy and R, hello to you. And again, a big apology for earlier on, not being able to stream. We did schedule the stream for 12 o'clock. We were there, we were ready to go, but we couldn't do it, so massive apologies. Matt's into Lurker's Lounge, nothing wrong with that. Enjoy your roast, Matt. Right, KLM to Amsterdam, just taxiing away. So they do tend to disappear off behind the terminal before they get to taxiway Delta, and then they pop back into view again. Goes behind the terminal. Life should be more fair. How are you doing? Heather Beatson, hello Heather. Ken Bartels, hello Ken. And John Hume, hello John. Dwayne Curley, hello Dwayne. I missed you all this afternoon, guys. It felt very strange not doing a stream on a Sunday afternoon. See the KLM just taxiing up, that is taxiway Delta, which takes him up to almost up to the Piano Keys by runway 32. Good. Don't think there's anything on the approach. He should be cleared to line up. Zoom out a bit, we can see the full length of the runway. Right, first aircraft of the stream then, KLM to Amsterdam. Looks like he's backtracking down to the far end. They sometimes take it from a beam taxiway Delta. If they're on the light side, he looks to be going to the end, so he'll go down to the top, turn round and come back. Philip Whitehead, hello Philip. Isaac, hello Isaac. And for anybody that doesn't know Leeds, there is a little turning D for the aircraft right at the far end. That's he's just going around the turning D now. Different at both ends of the airport. Up there where he is now it's a turning D. Down here at this end it's a turning loop. So like I say, I am inside the car, so we'll be able to follow this pretty much until he gets airborne, and then he'll disappear over the car roof. Paul Stanley, good evening. Katie Scarlett, hello Katie. Tellboy57, good evening. anybody's got their airband radio on and they know what the wind's doing, let us know. It's certainly does sound to be blowing out there. He's having a jolly good think about it. Paula Day, hello Paula. If I have missed your name in the chat, come back in and remind me, because I am juggling all the jobs this evening. Right, here we go. KLM to Amsterdam. Was wobbling a bit, wasn't he, in the wind there? Wow. Danny Jones is in the chat. Good evening, Danny. How are you doing, pal? Danny's seen a crane in Leeds city centre with her Christmas lights on. Ah, yes, I see. That's at the other end of the runway. John K, how are you doing, John? Right, so any help in the movements department would be appreciated this evening, guys, on Flight Radar. Let us know when we've got planes coming. It saves me juggling even more jobs. Did have a look on Flight Radar before I set off. There is quite a few arrivals due. I think there's even an enter air due this evening as well, around about 8 o'clock. Toon Crier, good evening, Toon. Alison Taylor, how are you doing, Alison? In fact, let's have a look at that crane while it's quiet that Danny mentioned. I think it's there we go. There we are. Is that it up there? Is that what you meant, Danny? I think that's the crane over Leeds city centre in the distance. Let's just have a little look at the windsock as well. Look, there he is. As you can see, it's a very strong crosswind, and that is flapping around like crazy. So yeah, it's very, very windy out there. It's going to be interesting to see the next arrival when it comes. Well, I think we might get a go around or two tonight. And Malcolm Orbill, hello, and thank you for that. It says the wind is 19 gusting to 29 knots at the moment. Cheers, buddy. And yeah, the forecast does say it's going to get even windier as the night goes on. Rebecca Berry, hello, Rebecca. reading Yvonne's chat there saying, I love mulled wine. You know, I don't think I've ever tried mulled wine. Ever. Jill Rogers, hello Jill. Paul Hartz, good evening Paul. Right, flight radar, let's have a quick look, and good news, we've got a inbound just about to turn on to finals actually, which is a Jet 2 from Tenerife, 737-800 in the red and silver colours. Yep, just about to turn on to the ILS. Yvonne says, it's wonderful. I've never tried it, Yvonne. Maybe I should. Mike Hewitt. Good evening, Mike. Right, we'll spin the camera around onto the runway, and then we can... there's quite a fairly low cloud base as well at the moment, so the planes will be a couple of miles out when they pop out of the clouds. Bit of a red tint to the sky this evening as well. I think that's the lights coming off Leeds city centre, bouncing off the clouds. And Heather Beatson saying, oh, there's a Geminids meteor shower tonight. I'm not sure if we'll see much of that then, because it's very cloudy, which is a shame. Bob's in the chat as well. I'm Imam Travels. How's it going, Bob? If you have just joined, no, Tom tonight is at home watching the football. And after the day he's had, I don't blame him. And John, I think, yeah, flying down to Gran Canaria. Have a nice holiday, buddy. Right, here we go. Just pop below the clouds. Look up in the top right. So, yep, very, very windy, and it's pretty much windy, almost straight across the runway as well. Wind is blowing from our right to left. Okay, place your bets then. Is he going to go around? Is he going to stick it? It's Jet 2, of course he'll stick it. Big Al Faith, hello to you. Good evening. Some very, very bright lights. Wow. Certainly wobbling a bit. Got it down. Well, that's Jet 2 from Tenerife South, 737-800. And he stopped that nice and quickly, vacated on taxiway Alpha. Anything with wheels, good evening. John says a couple of wing waves there on approach. I think we might get a few more of them this evening. Rod says, am I at the graveyard? Well, I'm outside of it, Rod. I'm in that lay-by outside of it. Must be said, it's a lot warmer than last night when we was here. When I was up on the hill, that was absolutely Baltic. Looks like he's going to disappear off round the back. Ryan Gallant, good evening. Says Jet 2 from Fuerteventura is 15 minutes from East Midlands. So we can add another 10 minutes on from East Midlands. And Mrs. Salker Ruth, hello, good evening, how are you doing? Okie dokie, let's have a look. Yes, I'm just looking on flight radar. That's our Fuerteventura flight just north of Manchester at the moment, actually. So that is about 10 minutes out. That could be the next arrival, looking on flight radar. And that is another red and silver Jet 2. Caroline Pardy, good evening. Let's have another peek at the windsock. Oops, there we go. Well, like I say, it is a crosswind and it's, as you can see, very, very blustery. Truckman, good evening, how are you doing? And Mark Plevin, good evening to you, how are you doing? And a massive thank you, he's sent us a £2 super chat, that's very kind, buddy. We'll feed that back into the channel, that's very kind, much appreciated. I'll cover some of the losses on today's petrol, Mark. It's much appreciated, buddy. Like I said earlier, 5 hours door to door today, wasted. Interesting fact there, look, from Bob. LBA's runway is 2,250 metres long, and an A380 needs a minimum of 3,000. Yep, so we're definitely not big enough for an A380. And saying that, Tom's done it on the flight simulator, and he landed it no problem. And Rod Gill saying there's a Jet 2 was inbound to Edinburgh, diverted to Glasgow, and it's gone around at Glasgow. Oh, send him down here, we'll have him. So it must be fairly windy up in Scotland as well then. Okay, flight radar shows this next Jet 2 just over Batley at the moment, so it's just about to turn onto the ILS in the next minute or so. Anybody know the score of the football? It was 1-0 to Man City last time I heard when I was driving here. Mark Godfrey, good evening, Mark. No Tom tonight, Mark. Left him at home watching the footy. And my computer tells me we've got 100 likes as well. That is very kind, thank you. Laura Maloney, hello Laura. Jamie Pickles as well, hello Jamie. Neil A, good evening Neil, says it's 1-1, thank you. Wendy Young, hello. Right, we'll point the camera in the right direction for the next arrival. Something on the runway up there. That could be a ground vehicle actually. Let's have a look. Anybody wondering what them lights are on the right hand side, pointing diagonally upwards? Apparently that's lights on a crane in Leeds, according to our Danny Jones. I think that is a ground vehicle on the runway. Oh, it looks like Man United scored. Not having a good time lately, are they, Man City? Right, next arrivals on the ILS at the far side of Leeds at the moment. It's still quite a few miles out. Still in the clouds at the moment. He will pop into view somewhere around about above that tree on the right hand side of your picture that you can just make out in the darkness. Call sign Chanex 7 Mike Whiskey. It is the Jet 2404 from Fuerteventura. Andy Foster's Travels, how are you doing? Wendy Young, hello Wendy. Gemma Proctor, good evening. And Jamie's World, hello there. Jamie says, I hate winter, it's cold, it's dark, I can't see a thing. Well, let's look on the bright side. It's nearly the 21st, isn't it? And then things will start getting brighter again. Mark Plevin gifting a membership as well. That's very kind, buddy. That's gone to Gemma Proctor. Congrats to you, Gemma. Do come into the chat and play with the emojis if you get one of them gifted memberships. That's what they're there for. And yeah, many thanks, Mark. Bob's saying heavy rain in Lanzarote today. The weather must have thought we was there. Oh, looking on flight radar, this inbound Jet 2 is looks like he's doing an orbit actually. Maybe he was a little high for the approach. Looks like he's doing an orbit and lining up to come in. Bobby Livingsworth, how you doing? Ballsy84, good evening. Vehicle still on the runway at the moment. Did watch a little bit of Think Planes' stream this morning, and they dropped a little hint they were going away on holiday or going away streaming somewhere tomorrow morning. Did they actually say where they were going in the end? Or is it a mystery? Will we have to tune in tomorrow to find out? Yeah, anything with wheels says it's drawing a figure of 8 in the on the approach at the moment. Maybe he's done an orbit while that vehicle was on the runway. Maybe they were searching for something. And Mark Godfrey says, yeah, it must be lonely. Well, it is in the car, but it's not in the lay-by. It's actually very, very busy. There's a lot of people here watching the planes at the moment, who are probably cursing me because I've parked the car side on to get this view, and I'm taking up 2 spaces, which is a little bit cheeky of me. So if anybody's listening around on the lay-by, I do apologise. And Caroline Pardy gifting a membership as well. That's very kind. That has gone to Ballsy84, who is in the chat. That's nice to see. Thank you, Caroline. Right, Jet 2 over Leeds city centre at the moment. I think he's making an approach this time. He's done his little figure of 8. Just move the camera a little bit more to the right. Right, so unless the cloud base has dropped, it should be popping into view any second. Marjolein also gifting a Blue Sky membership. That is really kind, Marjolein. Thank you. That's gone to Michael Crowther, or Crowther. So congrats to you. And Marjolein, thank you. That's very kind. Right, here we go. Just popping below the clouds on the right hand side of your screen. So wind is coming from right to left, straight across the runway. Zoom in a little bit more when it gets a little bit closer. Probably are going to get blinded by the lights again as he comes straight towards us. Ooh, big wobble. Whoa, he's really wobbling. Oh, is this going to be a go around? Wow. Ooh. Wow. Excellent job. I bet that was a rough old ride on board that. Wow. But, yeah, well done, Jet 2 crew. Awesome. Rather brighter them lights, aren't they? Ryan Garland saying winds gusting up to 29 knots at the moment. Thank you, Ryan. So that was Jet 2 from Fuerteventura. Colin sent us a $1.99 super chat as well. That's very kind, buddy. Many thanks. We'll feed that back into the channel. It's much appreciated. And appreciate everything you do for the channel as well, Colin. The moderating, it's very kind. Balls84 says, what's your streaming plans over Christmas? As much as possible. I'm going to stream as much as possible. I think Tom's determined to stream on Boxing Day, so that's a definite. And yeah, I've got almost 2 weeks off work as well, so yeah, we will do as much as we can. Both here and down at Manchester. David Jones saying it's 2-2 in the football now. Like I say, Tom has stayed at home to watch the football, so it looks like he's been treated to a few goals, so that's nice. Okay, I'll just leave the windsock just in shot on the left-hand side. As you can see, it's flapping away. Just put my flight radar on and saw a little BizJet on finals then, but it's not on finals, it's just going past. It's on a little German citation on its way to Blackpool. There we go, Ryan now saying wind is gusting now up to 36 knots. So yeah, it's getting stronger, and it is forecast to get even stronger as the evening wears on. So that is a crosswind of 36 knots, so that's going to be pretty close to some aircraft's limits, I would have thought. Dave UK, hello there. Says, how long have we been on? 43 minutes and 52 seconds to be precise. Was determined not to be beaten today after the failed mission down at Manchester. Lindsay Louis in the chat as well. How are you doing, Lindsay? Pete Pedals and Plays, how are you doing? Says a Global Express diverted into Newcastle earlier. There's a few nice BizJets down in Manchester today as well. There was a Gulfstream parked up in the engine test bay. And Stephen Worthington. Hello, Stephen. Ryan says the Jet 2 Holidays has just put his tail light on. I take it that's the one just above the nose of the other Jet 2, is it? So I think for this evening, I think we do have an EasyJet due. I think there's more Jet 2s due and some Ryanairs, and I think 8 o'clock we've got an Enter Air due, which if it comes on time, that'll be nice to see. And life should be more fair. How you doing? He says, will I be called in for gritting duties? Yes, if it gets cold, I will. So fingers crossed we don't get any cold weather while we want to be streaming. And Robert Smith, how are you doing, Robert? Welcome along. Must admit this is a lot more pleasant than yesterday evening when we came to wave Patryk off. It was absolutely Baltic on the top of that hill. It's really quite pleasant inside the car. I could sit here for hours. The only downside to this location is we can't see the ramp, can we, right round the back of the building? But we do get a fabulous view of the approach, which is the what it's all about this evening, with the wind as it is. And Bob's saying, someone in the chat said there is a Jet 2 at Leeds that diverted from Manchester. Was that one from earlier on today? Yeah, the weather, well, the wind wasn't too, well, it was fairly blowy down at Manchester at dinner time, but it wasn't nowhere near like it is here at the moment. Mark Godfrey saying, snow for Christmas. What do you think? Well, it'd be nice. It would be very nice. It'd be nice to wake up on Christmas morning with some snow. It's very rare that happens, actually. I think I can remember that happening probably twice. Danny Jones says, did we get the Global going out last night? The Canadian one? Yes, we did, Danny. It went out to Toronto. I'm just trying to think of the registration. It wasn't the normal Canadian Global that's always here, is it? It was a different one. It was a Global 7,500. Danny says they didn't put it in a good place for a photograph. Don't know if you can hear the wind outside the car, but it's really blowing. There we go, that was the reg of yesterday's Global. Thank you for that, Danny. CGHSW. Very nice indeed. Came in from, was it Buenos Aires? Came in and then stayed all day and then went out to Toronto. Alano, how are you doing? Rod Gill saying he doesn't think that Jet 2 was a divert. It might have been a test flight out of the North Sea then. Right, flight radar tells me we've got an Aer Lingus inbound. It's just north of Manchester at the moment, so that is about 10 minutes out. And behind that, literally 2 minutes behind that, is the EasyJet from Belfast, which is an A319, so that's probably 12 or 13 minutes out. Be interesting to see how the ATR handles the wind. Nothing worse than a frozen bauble. Stuart Marshall's in the chat as well. Hello, Stuart. How's it going? And he says it was Fox Oscar that did the Manchester before returning to Leeds. Ah, I get you. So Manchester's had a 7-3-3 today, have they? Joanne Ingham, good evening. I think that's a 300 series 737 that we're looking at now that's in the middle of the screen. Ryan says, when are we doing East Midlands Airport again? We did think about going down this year and we never got round to it. So yeah, no idea on that one. It's nice to see some of the cargo aircraft down there. We've got that Manchester drizzle here at Leeds now. Oh, Ryan says a Maersk Air Cargo 777 3 times a week down at East Midlands. Nice. Right, Aer Lingus about to turn onto the ILS. EasyJet's right behind him. Both aircraft coming in from Belfast. Laura says Aer Lingus inbound down to 4,000 feet. Helen Robinson, hello Helen. She says, evening Nick and Tom. It's just Nick tonight. Tom's at home watching the footy. Right, we'll point the camera in the right direction. And that is there you go, full view of runway 32. Once the aircraft pops into view, we'll zoom in a little bit. I think the ATR is going to be number 1 for the approach. It should be interesting to see how this handles the wind actually. We might get a go around here. Mark Godfrey says, according to Flight Radar, Father Christmas and his sleighs are doing a test run over us right now. Wonder if they're talking to the tower. Laura Maloney has joined the membership, or renewed the membership. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate the support. It's very kind. She says, you're absolutely welcome. Thank you. Right, let's have a look on Flight Radar. I do have to twist myself right around the car here when I'm on the computer. So yeah, Aer Lingus just over Leeds city centre at the moment, so that is about 4 miles out. Golf Charlie Mike Kilo will be the reg. ATR 72. Cloud base has dropped quite a bit as well actually since the rain started. Ryan says Edinburgh Airport is now back open after the issues earlier. Robert says, is that red dot in the sky Rudolph's nose? Yep, it's coming right towards us. Right, this should be popping out of the clouds any second, actually. Here we go, just on the right-hand side of your screen. So place your bets, guys. Is he going to stick this one down? I think wind's gusting over 30 knots at the moment. Ooh, he's wobbling. He's a wobbling. And he's got it down, safe and well. Or they have got it down, sorry. That is a very bright light. So that's Aer Lingus from Belfast. I know things about cars. Hello, Kyle. How you doing? So next in should be the EasyJet. It's not in sight yet. Deborah Mee's in the chat as well. Good evening, Deborah. How you doing? And EasyJet just coming into sight, actually. There we go. A couple of miles out. Alright, so this is an A319 coming in from Belfast. Nicely done. Alright, I'm missing the chat here, aren't I? Let's have a look. Deborah and me have said hello to you. Person, hello there, how are you doing? Scotty13 as well. Hello, Scotty. Like I say, if I've missed anybody in the chat, let us know. I think I've said hello to you all. And he will disappear off round the back. Right, next inbound is a couple of minutes out, and it's another ATR of Aer Lingus. This one's coming from Dublin. Just a few miles off turning onto the ILS. Oscar Wilder, good evening. Plain and simple, hello to you. Flashing lights. Heavy drizzle again here at Leeds. I was just wondering to myself what was blocking the Jet 2 tail. Is that the Aer Lingus that's parked down there? Let's zoom in and have a look. I think it is, isn't it? Alright, so the Aer Lingus just coming over Leeds city centre at the moment, so we'll swing the camera around. Sandy B, good evening, and Chris Smith, hello Chris. And Sandy B says last night, yes, we was wondering about that, wasn't we? Says it was being de-iced last night. Oh, that's amazing. It was about +5, +6 degrees, so there was still de-icing at that. That's very strange. And why did they only do that one aircraft, I wonder? David Hill, how are you doing, David? Right, aircraft's in sight, just pop below the clouds. I'll try and turn the brightness down a little bit to see if we can get shut of some of that really bad glare off the aircraft. I am parked a little bit more to the left than I normally do, so the aircraft are coming a bit more head on, which is making the lights off the aircraft look a little bit brighter than they normally do. So this is Aer Lingus, an ATR 72 from Dublin. Who I think's just gone around. He's gone around. He's gone around early. So, first go around of the evening is Aer Lingus from Dublin. And he's going back up into the clouds. There he goes, back into the clouds. Well, we'll see if he comes and has another go. Yeah, threw that one away fairly early. I would imagine that's probably wind shear. Hear him going over now. Philip Douglas, good evening. Yeah, it was a bit of a shocker down at Manchester today, Philip. The weather really wasn't that bad. It was just the rain and what there was of it was coming completely horizontal, and we couldn't keep it off us. Not bothered about getting wet myself, but obviously it's all the equipment. But yeah, we gave it a go. Can't win them all. Chris Smith, also come up to the airport yesterday. Did you see anything interesting, Chris? I think, yeah, Chris, through the afternoon, it's especially on a Saturday, it's very quiet at the moment. Kind of gone opposite from the summer, actually. Through the summer the evening was very quiet, and now that we've got into the winter months, it's the evenings have got a bit busier at Leeds. But yeah, through the daytime it's pretty quiet. Looking on flight radar as well, we've got the Arrecife Jet 2 flight coming in as well. That's just north of Manchester at the moment, so that's about 10 minutes out. Here's another red and silver Jet 2, 737, 800 series. Hopefully this Aer Lingus is going to come back round and have another go. John K says, I thought you were getting a bigger tent. I don't think we could have put a tent up today. We did try putting the umbrella up, but it was just coming, like I said, the rain was just horizontal. It was coming straight underneath it, so it was just pointless. And yeah, it was just impossible to do. I think probably the best option today, with what we should have done, is maybe have gone to the viewing park, and we would have had the wind behind us. Right, let's have a look on flight radar, let's see what that Aer Lingus is up to. It looks actually going through the overhead at the moment, so maybe he's in a holding pattern. And he's up at 4,750 feet at the moment. Just, in fact, I can hear him going over the top as I speak. Jet 2 from Lanzarote is about 2 minutes off the ILS. We've also got another Jet 2 coming in from Gran Canaria. They're all red and silver today. This is another red and silver one. That's just coming north of Manchester as well at the moment. So that's just over 10 minutes out. So 2 Jet 2s coming up. And possibly the Aer Lingus if he has another go. So Aer Lingus is still in the hold at the moment, so it looks like the next arrival will be the Jet 2 from Lanzarote, which is just about to turn onto the ILS. Sati Manku, good evening. Alright, we'll swing the camera around onto the runway for the next arrival. We'll zoom in once it comes into view. If you have just tuned in the last half an hour or so and you're wondering what them diagonal lights are on the top of the runway, apparently that's lights on a crane in Leeds city centre. And Dave UK, take care now. And Helen Robinson, that's very kind indeed, sending a £5 super chat saying, I love the channel. And Merry Christmas. That's very kind, Helen. Thank you very much. We will feed that back into the channel. It's much appreciated. And I hope you have a very Merry Christmas yourself. So the landing aircraft, next landing is indeed Jet 2 from Lanzarote. It's over Leeds city centre at the moment and should pop into view in the next couple of seconds on the top right of your screen. Here he comes. A bit more to the right than I was thinking. Okay, let's see if we get some wing waves off this one. Excuse me. Wow, them lights are bright. Yeah, got it down. Oops, daisies. So that was Jet 2 from Lanzarote down safe and well. Next to land, already on their ILS actually, we've got another Jet 2, another red and silver one coming in from Gran Canaria. In fact, I can see him already. The cloud base must have lifted a little. Looks like the Aer Lingus is positioning round behind this next landing aircraft to maybe have another go. And Edison19, hello to you. Friend of Dan Fretwell, so a warm welcome to you. And Helen Robinson's watching the planes with a plate of nibbles and a gin and tonic. Oh, fabulous. What species is my boy? I bet that's a little puddy cat. Right, let's zoom in a little bit. So this is Jet 2 from Gran Canaria. Down with a bump. Oh, Helen, you haven't got a rat, have you? Rod said the same. Right, let's have a quick check on flight radar, make sure we're not going to miss this Aer Lingus. Where's he gone? Let's have a look. Yes, he's on the approach. So, attempt number 2 for the Aer Lingus from Dublin. Not in sight yet. And next to land after the Aer Lingus, we've got a Jet 2 737-300 coming in from Paris, which is about to join the ILS as well. So 2 inbounds in the next few minutes. Dean Winspear, good evening, Dean. Okay, you can just see the little flashing light in the sky. That's the Aer Lingus. And Rod Gill, a massive, massive thank you. Been in the membership for a whopping 20 months. I think that's the first 20 months I've seen. So you've been there right from the beginning, Rod. So that's very kind. Much appreciated, buddy. Right, let's zoom in a tad. So this is the aircraft that went around a few, well, about 10 minutes ago now. He's got a bit lower than he did last time. Down safe and well this time. Mick Best, very good evening, Mick. And Mick Best also been in the membership for 9 months. That's incredible support. Thank you, buddy. Is that the other Aer Lingus pushing back over there as well? There we go, 2 for 1 shot. 1 in, 1 out. CK, hello to you. So that will be the Belfast flight that's just pushed back. And Matt Godfrey, enjoy your tea and take care. Just noticed we've had 200 likes for a windy old dark stream in Leeds, so many, many thanks, guys. Alright, next aircraft on approach has just popped below the clouds. Here we go. So this is the Jet 2 from Paris. Paris Charles de Gaulle. This is the 300 series 737. That is ridiculously bright. Wow. Oh, hello. Oh, I thought it was going to go around then. It's certainly a big bounce. And he has not made Taxiway Alpha. That's the first one this evening, actually, to come right down to the end. And he'll disappear behind my car boot. We'll pick him up again as he backtracks. Graham says, what time are we on till? Probably about 8 o'clock, I think. Steve Johns, hello Steve, how are you doing? And Daniel Warren, hello Daniel. Daniel says, just seen Patryk off. That was yesterday, Daniel. It's a very grey, drizzly sort of an evening. And SJ Gibson, good evening. Right, let's get back to the runway because we've got the Aer Lingus about to depart. Jet 2 is disappearing around the back. Looks like he's taken the back track as well, right down to the end. Europe Aviation, hello there. Says any go-arounds? Yes, we've had the Aer Lingus ATR did a go-around. I think that was the Dublin flight. And Dean Kerbo, a massive thank you, coming in with a $50 super chat. That is absolutely incredible support, and that is very kind, Dean. We'll feed that back into the channel. And I hope you had a fantastic time in Edinburgh, by the way. But yeah, that is very kind indeed, buddy, much appreciated. And like we say, that will go back into the channel. That is very kind indeed. Thank you, buddy. Are you back in the States now, Dean? Right, here we go, Aer Lingus to Belfast. Up and away. If you have just joined the stream, I am inside the car, so I can't follow them too far, I'm afraid. I was determined not to be beaten today after the failed mission to Manchester. So at least we've got a couple of hours in, guys, haven't we? Which is nice. And yeah, Dean back in the States, but going to Las Vegas right after Christmas. Oh, fantastic. You were hitting the slot machines. Somewhere I've never been, but I'd love to go. I'll have a fantastic time, Dean. He says, got to pay for Edinburgh somehow. Well, I hope you win the jackpot. Right, let's have a look on flight radar. Let's see if anything else is coming this way. Okay, can't see anything on flight radar at the moment. Anybody else in the chat know when the next arrival's due? And David Jones, thank you. And John K, you take care. Oh wow, Oscar saying used to work at Heathrow on the 747s, TWA, Pan Am. Oh, remember them. Good old days. Air India, Japan Airways as well. Okay, right, well there's a guy that's pulled up at the side of me and started playing loud music, so it's probably might be a good time to wrap things up. What's this that's snuck onto the runway? Not 100% sure what this one is. Whatever it is, it's not taken full length, it's taken it from a beam taxiway Delta. Could it be the EasyJet? I think it is. Indeed. Well, that's the one snuck out on us, didn't it? I never even saw him taxi out. Pay more attention, Nick. Right, Dan says a bit of a wait now until the next arrival. So yeah, we'll call it a day then. So it's well, it's been nice to get streaming, hasn't it? Wasn't a total failure of a day. I don't like to be beaten, especially not by the weather. So guys, a massive thank you for joining for a few breezy hours up here at Leeds. And like I say, over the Christmas period, we will get as many streams in as we can. We've got 2 weeks, nearly 2 weeks off work. Tom's got 2 weeks off school as well. So keep your eye on Facebook. We always tend to pop it on Facebook when we know what we're doing. And don't forget, if you've got pictures as well, we'd love to see them on Facebook. The more the merrier. So I will say thank you to everybody for watching. Moderators, a huge thank you for being there as per usual. You guys are fantastic. And some lovely donations to the channel as well this evening, which is very kind. And a few new memberships, gifted memberships, and a few renewed memberships. And lots of likes. It's all really, really appreciated. So I'll wrap this up before we get done for copyright, actually, with all the music blaring in the background. So until next time, guys, take care. But from myself up at Leeds, good night.